And welcome to Rhythm and Roads Christmas. We have a very special guest. We have Emily Davis. Welcome, Emily Davis, to Rhythm and
Hello.
Roads. And this really interesting because I was actually listening to your recent album, Living in the Past Tense. It's actually really good. It's an
Thank
EP,
you.
right? An EP.
Yeah, it's a EP, six
Yeah,
songs.
nice, nice. So about you though, how did you become an artist? So what was your passion like in growing up and I guess finding that road in wanting to become
Sure.
a musician, a singer, songwriter?
Well, my dad was very musically inclined growing up. My family, just in general, my mom and my dad were music lovers, and so that was
Oh, nice.
instilled into me in a pretty young age.
Nice.
My dad was and was very good at singing and liked to play guitar, and so I was just kind of in that environment already, and I guess it kind of rubbed off on me a bit.
Oh, okay.
So I've grown up loving music and had a proclivity for it when I was young. So it just kind of felt like the thing that's always carried me into adulthood now. So
Nice. I'm glad it went in. I guess it went into the family with the music family. So like, I mean, that's the same way with me. My dad's a musician, my brother. So I love that the fact that it was within the family.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then, so what age did you start wanting to like create your own, like a single when you first started your single? How far
Sure.
back are we going?
Well, so I always enjoyed writing poetry and words more than even I enjoyed singing or
Yeah.
playing music. It was always just very much loved that aspect of creativity. And so it kind of made sense at some point because I loved writing lyrics and poetry to be able to actually put them to music and sing them because I had that ability anyway. So
Right.
um, maybe around, I think I started playing guitar when I was about 14 years old. I
Oh,
got more
nice.
serious about it when I was around 15. And so I had a background in drums. So I already kind of had like the rhythm aspect down. So
Oh, you know how
strumming
to
a
play
guitar wasn't,
drums?
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Because I'm a drummer as
yeah.
well. So yeah, that's awesome.
I used to play. I'm not great, but I got rhythm, so that helped with playing rhythm guitar and chords. So,
Nice.
um, probably started playing shows when I was 15, 16 years old, and I'm
Wow.
34, so a
Hmm.
long time ago.
Oh, okay. So when you play drums, did you actually play with a group or a band, or did you just really just practice on your own and then but you started with more of the guitar playing with people?
Right. Well, I didn't really play with anybody for a long time, but at
Oh,
school,
okay.
like I was in marching band and I played drums in marching band, and then
Oh, you did. That's
I
cool.
took private lessons also to learn like the full kit. So I that was the context for me. Music was never like a it was always up until that point like very scholastic. So in band,
Hmm.
marching band or concert band or whatever, doing whatever I was doing at the time. But guitar was really the first thing that I didn't really do in a scholastic sense. I mean, I took guitar at high school because it was an easy A, but like I went home and I played guitar and I actually practiced and I actually got like in a habit of trying to do some with it outside of school. And so writing songs and playing guitar outside of that scholastic environment. That was really my first foray into
Wow.
um, being a songwriter.
Yeah. Okay. Are you in a band right now, or is it just you doing your own music, or do you have like? Because I think I noticed that you have like you're part of like two or three bands.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I'm in an acoustic duo called Loveless with another singer-songwriter named Javier Martinez. He's a good friend of
Okay.
mine. You
Mhm.
should also maybe interview him. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I'm always
Um,
up to bring on new artists.
yeah, he's great. And then I have a four-piece called Emily Davis and the Murder Police. And we
The
are like
murder
an
police. Nice.
alt rock, kind of funk, kind of folk, punk thing. So yeah, two different
Mm,
bands.
nice. And do you plan on playing any shows coming up? Anything in the next week or
Yeah,
two? Yeah, here in El Paso or where?
yeah. So well, sort of. Just depends on when this airs, I guess. Um, me and Javier have a couple shows lined up in Tucson and then in Bisbee at the end of this weekend, so the 15th, 16th, and then we're playing here in El Paso on the 30th
Oh, wow. Okay.
um, at the Nature House,
Nature House.
I
Okay.
think. And then my other band, we're kind of in the middle of recording and stuff. We're thinking about playing some shows in the early part of the year, but we haven't really set anything up yet. So
Okay. I want to get back to your EP, Living in the Past Tense. So would I guess take me on the journey of these songs that you written and the whole aspect of this album or the EP. What's the
Sure.
story? What's the story behind it?
So, normally when I write songs, I'll just write a song, and then after I've written and I've tweaked it, I kind of figure out what I want to do with it. So it'll go
Mm,
over here, it'll go over there between the two bands I'm in.
yeah.
Um, the louder, faster songs will go in the four piece. The more acoustic, sentimental songs will go in the two piece, right? So that's kind of been the dividing line for the last 3 or 4 years. But I was writing songs that were really personal. I was going through therapy. I got sober. And so there was like these kinds of, I got married. So there was a bunch of different like life shifts that were happening.
Oh,
Um, and so as a result of that, I was writing like stuff that was really uniquely personal and about my life and trauma and different things that I've gone through. And so, um, when you're in a group, sometimes it feels almost like you have to have another party sign on to what you're saying, and even
mm,
if they're willing to do that, it still feels strange. Like, here, sing a song about abuse, or sing a song that you didn't experience but you're having to sign on because you're in the band, or sing the song about an eating disorder that you're signing on even though you haven't struggled with that. But I overthink things. I'm super neurotic, and I didn't want to put anyone in a position to like have to co-sign stuff like that, even though I'm sure they
okay.
happily would have.
Right.
And it gave me an opportunity to just kind of also I feel like as a musician I've grown a bit in the last few years. I've enjoyed playing like bass, I've enjoyed playing electric, I've enjoyed um messing around, and to be able to have like 6 songs that I could just kind of do myself and play around with,
Mm,
um it sounded fun. So it was kind of a passion project where I could just kind of sink my teeth into something and be really focused on it and try to show people like the range I have as a songwriter, and the range in terms of sounds, in terms of lyrics and subject matter, and be it highly personalized and very focused. And so that's kind of what I ended up trying to do. So,
wow. So you're saying this album, the Z, I don't know why I keep saying album, but EP, is real more personal what you've been through. Like you said, you went through therapy. You just recently got married or been married. So it's
mm-hmm.
your journey of your voice in this album. I mean, the EP.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Not
You know,
everything I write is always first person. A lot of stuff I'll write from another person's perspective or through the eyes of who knows. But all of the songs here are pretty uniquely about me and the stuff I've been through. So,
okay. There's a song on the EP called Scatter Me. Is it called Scatter Me?
no, that's on an album. That's on The Worst Kind of Curse.
Oh, that's on that one. Okay. I was actually listening to the rest of like different songs on your albums, but that one
Mm-hmm.
stood out. And I was like, I was curious to know like what made you write that kind of song. I mean, it's really good, but the lyrics are
Nice.
really deep. I'm like, whoa.
So there's a line in that song that said, "Once upon a time, bittersweet South Carolina nearly stole my soul from me." I was in a car accident on tour. This was, I mean, The Worst Kind of Curse came out like 8 years ago, so it's pretty old. But I was on tour a few years prior to that in South Carolina, and I got into an accident with a semi.
Oh, wow.
He hit his brakes on the freeway, and I smashed into him going like 70, 75 miles an hour and
You
decimated
smashed
my
in the
car.
back of him?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Um, he was slammed on his brakes to avoid hitting a dog, and it was a pretty busy freeway. And anyway,
Oh my God.
yeah, I my car got decimated. Somehow I didn't die, and it like really messed with me. Like I had a hard time even driving for a while,
Oh,
and
I bet.
um, I didn't drive for a minute, and I
Yeah.
still don't. I still don't. If I can get away with not driving, I'll take I'll take a person
Jeez.
up on. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, I still do, but you know, I wanted to be able to still go and travel and tour at some point. And so
Hmm.
the idea of going out and driving long spans of time, which is what you do on the road, you have to be
Right.
in a car and you have to face that fear in order to do what you love.
Right.
And so it was just kind of like a way of saying, if something ever did happen again where I was out there and I got in an accident, I love being on the road more than anything ever, anything even besides like my family and my husband. I love touring. I love
Oh,
playing
that's
shows.
awesome.
I love being out there. It's like a playground.
Oh
It's the height
yeah.
of it's like the height of lived experience. And so if that's where I end up going, then at least I was on that peak of lived experience out there doing what I love to do.
Mm.
So that's kind of like the idea of the song, I guess.
Well, I'm really glad that you're still here after that accident. Because for me to say you
Thanks.
went 75 at it, the way that the semi just
Oh,
braked like that, that's like
oh
what?
yeah, dude. There's a picture on
Wow.
Instagram somewhere. If you scroll back far enough, it's pretty wacky.
Oh, I bet it's wacky.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. But so now that you explain that, it makes sense. I'm like, wow, like I'm really curious about that song. Well, like, what was your inspiration behind that? But now I know.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
one thing about me, because I love the road as well. That's why I call it Rhythm and Roads podcast, because we're all musicians, the rhythm of life, how
Mhm.
we have our own soundtrack. And then the road, we
Yeah.
all have our own journey, the road that we're
Sure.
on. But yes,
Sure.
I love road trips. And I feel like as I see a lot of musicians that I follow and just big artists as well, the tours of them traveling and they even post, it's just like that would be, I've never experienced that, to just travel on to go to different cities, venues. I mean, just to have that, to know you're going
Yeah.
all across the US and someone outside the country is like, oh man, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's the best.
I
Yeah.
mean, have you gone further out besides just the US, or you've gone outside the country, or
We played me and my four-piece band. We toured Canada at the end of last year.
oh you did? Oh, that's
So
cool. Nice.
I would love to go other places. It's just hard. The older you get, the harder it is, the more expensive it is. It's,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
it's all kinds of excuses I could make, but I've always wanted to go somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Um, I say every year, every year, I'm like, this is the year, and I really just need to make it the year. So
Yeah.
maybe this will be, hopefully, I can look
Well,
on back on this in a year and say that I finally did it. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, do you have another project in the works right now for another album? Writing
Yeah,
some
actually, I
songs?
do.
Yeah, you do.
So both acts have EPs that we desperately need to finish.
Okay.
Um, so both Colt Loveless and Emily Davis and the Murder Police should have EPs out next year. And then I've just written like a ton of new songs that I'm not
Oh,
sure
wow.
if I would do another solo thing, if they'd go to one or the other, but there's plenty of music on the way. And so that's always exciting to say.
That is
Especially
exciting.
like,
Yeah.
especially when you release something, like after I release anything, my first thought is, well, now what? Now what do I do? And
Right? Yeah.
it's like you have to start all over and it almost feels a little daunting. But it's strange that, I released something six, five, 4 or 5 months ago, I guess. And
Mhm.
I'm already like have more ammo to give. So it's that's nice to know that it's not going to be like, well, you guys wait around for another several many years before I do it again. It's like, no, I'm ready. I
Let's
got stuff for
go.
y'all. Just it's
Yeah.
cooking. So that's
That's
cool.
good. I'm glad you're like that, where it's like once you're done with a project, let's do another. We're on the, you keep going. Because
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. Some artists that are actually big out there, they wait almost 2, 3 years for another album. And you're like, why is it? I mean, depending too
Yeah,
how it takes long because of the value of the album, and you actually sound like
exactly.
they took their time. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
mean,
I
I feel
mean,
like yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like I released an album in 2000. I mean, I released an album in 2011 and then I didn't do anything till 2015. Then after
Oh
that, it was
wow,
in
really?
2018. So there was spaces. And I think I firmly believe that if you just don't have it, don't force it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And so
Yeah.
there are entire years where I might write a song or two for this reason, for this year, for whatever reason, I popped out like 8 or 9, 10 songs, which is wild. But
Dang, that's
um,
cool.
that's that's abnormal for me. And so I definitely wouldn't like encourage anybody to just like try to force
Yeah,
something out because it's never going to work. Anytime I sit down and say, well, I'm going to write a song now, I never do. It's like
it just has to
whenever
come
I have,
naturally. Yeah.
yeah, whenever I feel led to my guitar, I know that sounds like stupid, but honestly, that's the case. Whenever I feel like a desire just to play my guitar and express myself, that's normally when something productive happens. And so in the absence of that, like I'm not going to force it at all.
Oh, yeah, and I agree. Yeah, you just let it come naturally, and that's the when it's actually you're in the moment where it all the magic
Mm-hmm.
happens. So
Yeah.
that place that I met you at, what was the name of it? Would
Sunset
I?
Parlor.
Yes,
Sunset Parlor.
I, I think I was told that you have some association with that. Like it was your partner with them, or how are you involved with
Uh,
that venue?
I'm not, honestly.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
I know some of the people who book there.
Oh, okay.
It's a really, really cool spot. It's
It is
beautiful.
very cool. Yeah.
That was actually, I think that was the first time I'd ever been there, was that show.
Oh, that was the
Um,
first time.
and
Oh, okay.
I think so.
You
Well, I've
walked
played
around
there
like.
twice now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. But it was just, it's a gorgeous space. It's owned by a very nice lady. I know that Hal Marcus is part ownership as well. And
Mm.
I know that he does a lot of good creative things for the community. And so it's just a really nice area. I love the Sunset Heights area. It's just like a little bit of a wonderland outside in terms of
Mhm.
all the color. And it's a great spot. I hope they continue to do stuff. I'm excited that they're here and that there's a place in El Paso that's like a designated listening room because I think we need spaces like that here.
And we
So
do, yeah. And one of my friends, Jason Grant, that I don't know if you met when that same night, but he was really sharing a lot about just how a lot of the community support local artists, and it's awesome the fact that because Jason Grant's also another musician, but
mhm.
the fact that it just there's really no hard competition from what his experience is more like there's friendly competition where everyone wants to inspire each other to grow and be
Yeah.
out there, to get their voice out, to get their music out. And so
Yeah.
I see that. I do see that. And I'm glad that you're on the podcast sharing your story while everyone else is sharing theirs, and
Yeah.
supporting each
For
other.
sure. Yeah.
So before we do coming into the podcast here, I do want to ask if they want to follow your music and just follow you on your Instagram and your pages, where can they find you?
Sure. So on Instagram, it's at Emily Davis Music.
Hmm.
I don't really use the app formerly known as Twitter. I don't care. It's E
Okay.
Davis Music if you have to find me on there, but I don't really ever use it. Facebook is just you can do Emily Davis and the Murder Police. Cult Loveless is on Cult Loveless, CULTLOVELESS on Instagram and on Facebook. Um, EmilyDavis.bandcamp.com if you want to support me and my music and download any of my albums.
Nice.
Cult Loveless at bandcamp.com also if you want to support any of those. So
Okay. And your
those
music
are
on
some of the spots.
Spotify and Apple Music?
Yeah, all three entities that I'm involved with, solo or otherwise, are all on Spotify and Apple Music and all of those things. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Real quick, what made you come up with the Murder Police for your second band that you were with? How did that
so
name come
there's
about?
there's a comedian by the name of John Mulaney.
Hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
No.
he's great. He has a stand-up bit about Law and Order SVU,
Oh,
and
no
in it
way, really?
yeah, it's got a few, and in it he refers to detectives as the murder police, and I could quote the bit, but it's just a really funny bit, and the way he delivers that line we
Yeah.
really liked, and we were quoting it all summer one year, and just said, "Why don't we just be Emily Davis and the Murder Police?" So
That's cool.
how
It's
that
there.
came
Yeah, it's
about.
catchy. I didn't know if it had
Yeah,
something to do with the police, like the actual Sting
yeah,
band. But I mean, not with them, but just an idea from that. Like, hey, well, they're called
no,
the police.
yeah,
It's called Murder Police.
no,
Okay. Are you a fan of the police by any chance?
I am, yeah,
Yeah, I'm a
it's
huge
a good
fan of
band.
Sting.
Yeah.
I do want to. I am curious, and also probably the viewers. What artists out there have inspired you to become a musician yourself? That are out there that are pretty big.
Huh. Oh, there's a handful, I guess. I was raised on Southern rock, so
Oh yeah,
that's formed
Southern
like
Rock.
the yeah, so that kind of formed the backbone of my music listening growing up. Um, in high school, I got into like indie rock and stuff. I think a big person that was an early influence for me, at least as a teenager, was Ben Gibbard from Death Cab for Cutie.
Mm.
Um, he's an amazing songwriter, amazing
Yeah,
lyricist,
yeah, that's a good
very,
band.
very, very visceral songwriter. And so he takes the ordinary and just makes it so picturesque. And I love that about him. So
That's cool.
um, that was a big influence. The band Bad Religion is a huge influence of mine. If
That's a good one. Yeah.
you spend 5 minutes online getting to know me, you'll see that I'm quite obsessed with them. I cover them on YouTube.
Do you really?
So
Yeah,
yeah, they're my favorite band.
that's
So
cool.
Bad Religion, that vein of punk rock, that very like question reality and try to think about things on a deeper level, it really resonated with me. I wanted to write music that spoke to other things than just kind of superficial stuff. And so I think Bad Religion really informed me in that area. I really love the Pixies.
Oh,
I love a
Pixies are
lot of
good.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they've been such an influential band. They're probably my second favorite band.
Oh wow. Okay.
It goes without saying, and it probably surprises nobody, but in as a youth and into my adulthood, I really love the Cranberries. Um,
Oh man. I mean, yeah.
very inspired by Dolores O'Riordan. She had an amazing voice and an amazing presence, and definitely had an impact on me. So those are some of the top ranking, I guess, acts.
Hey, good choices. Yeah. What about Four Non Blondes?
Yeah, that one song is cool.
What's going on, or is it called What's Up? I think it's
I
called
think
What's
it's
Up.
called What's Up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You ever sing that one?
jokingly.
Jokingly? No,
Yeah,
I
not
think
seriously.
no, I think that'd be cool
Me
if you
and
did a
my
cover on that.
me and my husband would be like, and I tried. Oh my. So
Well, there you go. Okay, I got a little snippet from you. Appreciate
there you
that.
go. That's my cover.
Yeah, that's your cover. Thanks a lot. Good way to end
You're
this.
welcome.
All right, Emily. Well, I do appreciate you coming on Rhythm and Roads, and thank you again for sharing your
Sure.
the journey you've been on. It's really, and I look forward to hearing more of your new songs next year. So
Thanks, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if you have any friends that are artists or music, anyone that would like to come on Rhythm and Roads, feel free to send them my way to my
Yeah.
Instagram, Joshua Jacob 3107, or
Okay.
you can reach me. But I
Awesome.
do,
I'll let
yeah,
them know.
but I do appreciate your time, Emily, and thank you guys
Yeah.
for watching on this episode with Emily Davis. We'll catch you in the next one.